Hello, my name is Karl Meneghella, and I'd like to welcome you to this season of Coffee with Karl. In each episode, we welcome guests from all over the world who are here to share their knowledge, insights and wisdom in topics both big and small. Hopefully every episode will also have some tips, tools and takeaways that you can use to further your personal and your professional growth. So thank you very much for joining me in Coffee with Karl. Thank you. Hello, Mr. Kreiser. How are you?
Hello, I'm fine. And you?
I'm very well, thank you. Very well. Welcome back again.
My pleasure.
I believe today we're going to talk about time.
Absolutely.
I can see the time here, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about
No.
how to manage.
Exactly.
Please share your thoughts with us.
So, time management is something, means people think that they know, but they actually really may not know.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had the knowledge about time management earlier in my life, and my life would have been much easier.
Yes, easier. I like that. Our audience should like that as well.
So basically, when people talk about time management, they just, like start time, end time, and that's it. So you'll be on time, something like that, right? But actually, in reality, we are overwhelmed day to day by so many tasks, right? And when we don't manage those tasks properly, we may end up, prioritization the wrong ones, and then we may unnecessarily give importance to tasks which are not needed, and the important tasks may be left undone. Right?
Yes.
So there are various techniques by various management gurus, and they came up with various ways to manage your tasks, and so you are able to manage your time.
Very good. And you'll be sharing some of these ideas and methodologies with us today.
Exactly.
Excellent.
So before I came to know about these techniques, right, I used to be overwhelmed with, how to conduct my days, how to finish my tasks, and always things were overwhelming. And then would put me into the procrastination mode, right? But when I started reading about how to manage time and review various techniques, right, then I was able to slowly, gradually improve my time management. And today I think I'm able to do up to about 80% of what I plan to do things. So 80% is good than more than enough, right? You don't need to be 100% perfect. Right?
And we probably never get to 100% perfection anyway,
Yes.
but I think that's a good target for our audience to learn some strategies on how to better manage your time, your tasks, and make the most out of your day.
Exactly. So if we split tasks, right, there are tasks which are regular tasks that we need to do on a periodic basis, and then there are once in a while tasks that we need to do, right, and then they may be important or they may be urgent. Or sometimes they're just our aspiration, like things. Example, we have a goal. I have a goal to climb Mount Everest, right? So it's there in my things to do list.
Yes.
Right, but I don't need to manage that right now, correct? But so Eisenhower, management guru, he came out with a technique how to actually segregate your tasks into 4 quadrants, right? Based on importancy and urgency.
So this is Eisenhower, the president of the US,
Yes.
who had this methodology.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Right.
So tell us about the Eisenhower
So you
method.
can classify all your tasks using these 2 metrics, right? So one is whether the task is important or not important, right?
Yes.
And whether the task is urgent or not urgent, right? So the first quadrant is about important and urgent tasks, right? So these tasks you have to actually do them first, finish them first. So because
there's a prioritization.
yeah, exactly. So that is the first quadrant where you have to have your main focus.
Yes.
So this quadrant will have all the tasks which are important
And
they are urgent, right? So you focus on them and get them done with. Then the second quadrant is about important but not urgent. So these are important tasks and they may have deadline somewhere in the future, right? So you have to keep them in focus and regularly chip at them.
Revisit, yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Regularly chip at them so that you start to complete them before it reaches the deadline.
Could I put that into a student context for a second? So an important and urgent, maybe an assignment due next Tuesday, and that's worth 30% of the course.
Correct.
That's important,
Yes.
and it's urgent. It's due next Tuesday.
Yes.
Where an important but not urgent could be preparation for the exam at the end of the year.
Exactly.
Which you might do a little bit each
Yes.
month
So
or
you
whatever.
study every day for those tasks so that
Yes.
if you don't focus on the second quadrant, which is important but not urgent,
yes.
sooner or later they will move towards the
Yes, it'll
first
become
quadrant.
too late and it'll become
so it
urgent
become
and important.
urgent and important,
Yes.
right? So it will actually create a new attention matrix for you.
Yes.
Correct? So you have to regularly chip at those tasks. Then there are tasks which are urgent but not important. Correct.
I have those emails come across my
Yes,
day
exactly.
every day.
Right.
All these emails, which people think are urgent, but some of them are just, what can I do with those? How can I make my life easier with those unimportant ones?
So I think these you cannot avoid them. So because they are urgent, but they may not be important, right? So what you do is mainly you can actually put some mechanism which can automatically deal with those tasks, or you delegate this task to somebody else.
I like it. So
Right.
those ones which aren't critical,
Right.
I delegate.
Delegate it.
But I
That's
mean-
why CEOs will have assistant
Yes.
going through their emails so that they don't waste time on unnecessary emails, because in those emails there may be important emails as well as not important emails.
They filter it.
Correct. So the assistant
Yep.
will screen all these emails for him, and then he will pass on the urgent important one to the CEO, and the unimportant ones will be taken care by the assistant. So that's one way to delegate, right? Even the phone calls, right? For a CEO, the phone call is actually attended by the assistant.
By the assistant, yes.
Right? And
Yeah.
now, in our case, we don't have the luxury of an assistant, right? So we put some specific time blocking for those tasks, like for emails. So if we have the habit of attending to emails throughout the day, we are actually breaking into our regular tasks, right?
Yes.
The tasks that we are focusing on, or the tasks which are presently working on. So it's better, instead of checking the email throughout the day, maybe you fix a time blocking, that okay, early in the morning from 8 to 8:30 is the email checking time, right? And you're done with. Then from 8:30 to 12, you can do work on your other important tasks. And then maybe before going to lunch, for the next 15 minutes, you again
Check the
screen
emails,
your
yes,
emails,
yeah.
right? And if you're working on something important, you can always put your phone on silent mode, correct?
As
and
we are.
if the phone call is not important, you don't attend to it,
Yes.
right? But if it's an urgent phone, maybe your boss call or your wife calls, so then you take it up.
Right.
And if it is not, because when the phone comes, you really don't know whether it is important or not important, but you have to answer that call of your boss or of your wife, right? And then when you listen to the conversation and you identify that it is not really needed to attend to right now, so you're okay, I'll call you back. Or if it is important, then you attend to it. But it should not take more than 2 minutes.
So just to summarize for our audience, it means in the morning, checking our emails, then having the confidence to put that aside and focus on the task. My question then is, when do we plan the task for the morning?
Actually, if we go by Eisenhower matrix, right? So we
Yes.
already have the master task plan, right?
Yes.
And then before we go to sleep, we decide what are the tasks for the next day.
Aha.
So before we go to sleep, we already know that tomorrow what we are going to work on, right? And the good thing about that is that when we have reviewed the tasks we are going to work tomorrow, right?
Yes.
It goes into our subconscious. And while we are sleeping, our actually subconscious is working the way for the whole day, that how we are going to manage all those tasks that we have planned for tomorrow.
So it actually means we get a better night's sleep.
Exactly.
Because we have preparation. And that reminds you of, I think it's the 7 Ps or 6 Ps. Prior preparation and planning prevents poor performance.
Yes.
So if
That's a good one.
If I start doing that, it means I can go to bed thinking tomorrow I'm going to do this.
Yes.
Which means I wake up with a sense of purpose.
Correct.
I'm going to wake up more confident. I still have to realize there's external influences, so I'll deal with my emails.
Yes.
And if they're not important
Correct.
and not urgent, I can
We
put that
put it
aside
aside.
and get onto my task.
Exactly.
That's a very valuable skill for our students to have.
Correct. And then, so in the morning again, when we wake up, we just review again.
Yes.
And maybe the first thing is do not touch your phone in the morning. You complete your morning routine. So that may take 1 to 1.5 hour or 2 hours.
Yes.
And after you have done your morning routine, then go to your digital device.
And that means, I think, again then, if we've already had a successful morning,
Yes.
we're going to feel much more motivated,
Exactly.
much more content.
Correct.
I like it. I like it.
Actually, our mind, is something very interesting. So, if we have regular morning routines, right, and we achieve something, maybe even small things like washing our dishes or cleaning our room,
Yes.
or arranging our desk or even our room, right, or even making our bed, right, that gives your brain the sense of achievement. So when you start the day with sense of achievement, you're starting on a positive note.
I like it. Yes, very, very valuable.
And then, so over the day, you will have some time blockings of specific things.
Could you clarify time blocking for us?
So example, instead of attending to the email throughout the day, right, we block maybe 8 to 8:30 just checking email. And then before going to lunch, the way we set lunch time, right, we have blocked. Because if we don't block that time, every day we may proceed to a different time for lunch. And that's not good for our digestion system,
health.
right?
Yes, yes.
And there are things like, if you have a meeting to do, a regular meeting, right, you block that particular meeting in a time window. Or if you have a milestone meeting, you already block, let's say every Monday, you block that time for that milestone meeting.
Yes.
Right, before you start the week. So you already, your team, over the week, they know that what they are supposed to do over that week, right? So these are the things. Or example, even our personal time, we plan to watch a movie, right? So if we go to the theater, we have to block that particular time window for the movie.
So could I go to time for a second? I've seen this situation where people are working, say, 9 to 5. They come to work and then they start a cup of coffee, talk with their friends, do their makeup, whatever, at work. And that to me, when I see that in an employee, I get angry that they're not actually using, they haven't started work at 9
Exactly.
o'clock. So I think maybe, and they seem to be perpetually in catch-up mode.
Yes.
They're coming to work, a cup of coffee, makeup, everything else. And if I was the employer, I'd say, if you're working 50%, I'll pay you 50%. So maybe for the audience, for our students, if you want to stand out, if you want to become a more in-demand person, more of a value-adding person, coming to work, if you're starting at 9 o'clock, actually means coming to work at maybe 8:30, so that at 9 o'clock you're ready to start work. And I guarantee you that there'll be competitors of yours, your colleagues, your other students, who are trying to compete for a job. You will stand out.
Correct.
So maybe we get those habits of being preparation, so when it's time to start, you're starting.
Start.
I
It's like a
it.
movie, if the movie starts at 9 and you spend time in the restroom, makeup and all that, you miss your movie,
Well,
right?
it's funny how people can prioritize,
Yes.
and the movie's a great example, or a concert. Ed Sheeran's playing tonight at 7 o'clock. Everyone manages to turn up at 6:30, ready for it. But when it's time to go to work,
Correct.
not so much.
So
Okay.
it's also about, like you have passion to watch that concert or the movie, right? So the same thing, you have to actually create passion in your work. And if you have passion in your work, you will love to do your work. And if you don't start your day on that particular time, it means you don't have commitment. So
Right.
you have to show commitment, right?
So we all start somewhere, and I know that my early career, actually before it became a career, my early jobs weren't jobs I was passionate about. So rather than trying to find, am I passionate about being a pizza cook, for example? Not really. So then I became to myself passionate about being a person who delivers, a person who can be relied upon. So maybe also, and I know we had a talk with Mr. Bradley yesterday about the inner self, but maybe also having passion in being a person that can be relied upon.
Yes.
And part of that would be having habits, like, for example, time management and task management and project management, having those skills so that the person can say, ask Charlie, he's reliable.
Yeah.
You know, I think that becomes
Actually,
something
to
you
do
have
that,
passion in.
you know, you need a positive thinking mind. So
Yes.
I'll give you one example. Let's say a shoe company, right, sends two salesmen to Africa, right, to find out whether there is a market for the shoes in Africa. This is just a hypothetical
Yes.
situation. So both the salesmen, they visit Africa, they see that people are actually walking barefoot. Right?
Yes.
So one salesman reports back that nobody wears shoes here, there is no market for shoes.
Okay.
Right. The other one says nobody wears shoes here and there is absolutely 100% potential to sell shoes.
I like
So
it.
it's a difference in how you think.
Yes.
So the first one was thinking negative.
And closed mindset.
Right, closed mindset. Whereas the second one sees the potential. So he sees opportunity in crisis. And that is what we are supposed to do. We should make our mind positive thinking. Right?
I think these are really valuable skills. So we've had the Eisenhower matrix.
And then there is a last quadrant.
Yes.
Which is not urgent.
Oh, yes.
Not urgent and not important.
Right.
So we finish with urgent but not important. So
Yes.
we delegate, right? And the things which are not urgent and not important should be deleted out of your list because those are distractions, they are time wasters.
That's almost like the spam folder of this junk mail
Exactly.
that comes through. There, I see.
Yes.
Okay. So we have Eisenhower.
Right.
We have time blocking. Are there any other models that you are particularly...
Like for myself, there is a theory about eat the frog. Eat the frog. So frog is something difficult for us to eat, correct? But we have to do that first with our task. So we finish the most difficult task first because once it is out of your plate,
Yes.
your brain will become free and relaxed. So less tension, less worry with the difficult task.
Can I tell you a story? When I was very young, my mother had cooked a dinner, a family dinner, and there were Brussels sprouts, the little green vegetable. And I do not like Brussels sprouts. So I remember eating all the Brussels sprouts first,
Right.
and then I could actually
Then you can
get rid of
enjoy.
that and then enjoy the meal.
Exactly.
So that kind of philosophy.
Exactly.
So do the distasteful
Exactly.
task, get it over and done
Correct.
with. Okay, I like it.
So this is the Eisenhower matrix
Yes.
of task management.
So we have
And then the eat the frog, right?
Eisenhower, time blocking, eat the frog. And I believe you spoke about one other one, an inverted something?
pyramid.
Inverted
So
pyramid.
You block your day for the big tasks. Let's say the task which will take 3 to 4 hours.
Yes.
So 1 or 2 of those tasks in a day. Then the task will take half to 1 hour.
Yes.
3 or 4 of them after you finish the big task. And then the other small tasks, if you have time, you use those to fill in the blanks.
I get it. So we have an inverted, so instead of a pyramid, it's an inverted
Correct.
pyramid. And we do the big task,
Big tasks,
get that out of the
medium
way,
tasks,
and then we have time for the little ones.
right. So
Very
it's
good.
like there was an experiment showing that a jar, if you put the big stones in the jar, right? So you have already
Full
fitted,
jar.
the jar is full, the big stones, right? But then you can also put the pebbles,
Yes.
which will go into the
In the
gaps,
cracks, yes,
right?
yes.
And then you can still put sand, so it will fill the jar, but still it's not full. Then you can pour water, right? So same thing. But if you do it in a reverse, let's say you put the water first and the sand and the pebble, then you won't be able to fit the big
gravel,
rocks inside. Right?
Thank you so much for today. I think there's some very valuable insights, some methodologies, some skills. And just to recap, so the Eisenhower quadrant, the matrix. We had time blocking, eat the frog, and the inverted pyramid. Mr. Kreiser, thank you so much.
And one more thing.
Oh, sorry. I'll say thank you in a minute
So
then. One more thing.
you have to write all the things down because once you write the things down, your brain will be less overwhelmed because now everything will be cleared. The moment you write things down, you already solve half the problem.
With writing, can I just a little segue, and this particularly for our audience of students, I was reading a study where if you make lecture notes on the computer, as opposed to lecture notes writing, there's actually more memory if you write rather than typing.
Exactly.
And this study showed that people who wrote the notes and they developed their own shorthand actually had more retention.
Yes.
But I think the other part of it is very simply is that by writing down, you've already made commitment.
Exactly.
It's starting to make a connection with your cognition and your action. And I think then you can also check off what you have done and have that sense of accomplishment. And that sense of accomplishment is actually giving you energy.
Yes.
Very good. So, again, thank you very much. Very entertaining, very informative. Thank you. Good to see you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to thank you for joining me in this episode of Coffee with Karl. Hopefully the episode was a benefit in your personal and professional growth, and the tips, tools and takeaways will further help you. Thank you.